Hello everyone, and welcome back to Sound of Drop Fall into Poison. This game hasn't been scary so far yet, but here I am sitting in the dark with the faint glow of my computer, and hopefully, finally, this will be the episode that scares me. We are at the aquarium with Himeno and Mayu right now. I think that was her name. Oh god, did I forget? Anyway, we're talking about her fears right now. Something else is tied in beneath that fear. Something about the aquarium and the missing persons who didn't come home. That was essentially... Oh god, I'm already scared. Are you okay, Mayu? I didn't forget her name, but now I've got chills running up and down my damn spine. Sorry, I guess I scared you a bit too much. I think this story's pretty exaggerated, so don't worry about it. I heard it's a fun aquarium. I think we should take those stories with a grain of salt, right? Yeah, just to stop doing the staticky, scary picture face. Though her kindness is Cat, stop standing in front of the screen. Is misdirected, its kindness just the same. Having involuntarily sat down, I take the hand Himeno extends to me. As I slowly rise to my feet, I respond, "Yeah, you're right." To think that I would hear of a connection to my precious memory in a place like this. It's strange, after 5 years the memories should have faded. I tell myself this, then let out a small sigh. Himeno is actually showing concern, so I sit down on a bench in the rest area next to the souvenir shop. Himeno even brings me a can of cocoa. As I'm drinking it, she buys our tickets. With her doing all of this, I have to go with her. "Are you okay, miss?" The fact that I'm thinking thoughts like, "This canned cocoa is a little weak," is proof that I'm cooling down. As I'm starting to feel better, a male voice calls out to me. While holding my half-finished cocoa, I turn in the direction the voice came from. Rather than the boy's voice I expect, it belongs to an adult, so I respond timidly. I'm okay, so... Ugh, no need to be so vigilant. I already like this dude. He's wearing a gray knit cap and a brown running shirt. He's tall, even for a guy, so I have to look up at him. His build is almost all muscle, and my shoulders shudder a bit in surprise. My cats are acting up right now. He appears well over the age of 20, so I can't think of a reason he would want to talk to us. Those violet eyes are pretty cool. Whether he realizes I'm looking up at him or not, he plunks down right next to me. Even after he sits down, we aren't sitting at the same height. Pretending to fix my posture, I move away from him a little. "Are you not feeling well?" I'm gonna go with distant and reserved. "I'm fine, really." Thanks to my nerves and my wariness, I end up speaking unnaturally fast. Moreover, if he really is a kind person, I might end up abusing his good intentions. "How cold?" "Yeah, sorry, dude." It figures. I say again, without thinking, without my knowing what he's so happy about. The man's mouth loosens into a grin. "You're pretty clever. I give up. But you know, I seriously am worried about you. Your face is pale and all." That's... His kind words taking me by surprise, I inadvertently avert my eyes. For some reason, I become strangely embarrassed and begin tapping my index finger on my can of cocoa. "Well, that aside, since you came to have fun, let me show you around. We are really just fine." Yeah. The words come out so naturally they surprise even me. I have now become a complete idiot, and my eyes meet his. I work part-time in this building, so I'm familiar with it. This area, that is. "Hey, what are you doing?" Himeno comes by. "Himeno!" I gasp and look up. Himeno is there carrying 2 tickets and some pamphlets. With her hands on her hips and her cheeks puffed out, Himeno glares at the man with narrowed eyes. "I think the only ones allowed to hit on junior high schoolers would be high schoolers." No, I'm not trying to hit on anyone. This girl just looked unwell is all. I think this guy is pretty straightforward and kind in spite of looking a little bit hipsterish. Why'd I use that word? "Mayu, what happened?" Which one? I think it was what you'd call hitting on someone. Well, it's not giving me much of a choice, so I'm gonna go with no choice. Not knowing how to respond, I stay silent. On seeing that I'm troubled, he turns to Himeno, who has entered his field of vision. Upon doing so, Himeno interjects with a "Hey!" See, you can't trust someone who just says kind things. Are you speaking from personal experience? No, and what are you coming at me like that for, Mayu? Hey, mister, please don't make such a weird face. He's just like, these girls, they need to chill. And mister, Himeno mutters, facing the man's chest. On hearing her say mister and giving me a puzzled look, the man shows us the plastic name tag hanging from his neck. Ah, I must have forgotten to take this off. So he's off the clock, apparently. Himeno, speaking of which, he did say he works part-time in this building. And then is that his entry card or something? He slaps his knees and rises to his feet. He probably played some kind of sport or something because the movement as he stands looks so effortless. I'm Hiyoshi Kenji. I think that would be the proper pronunciation. Hiyoshi Kenji. Oh, it's even in Japanese format, Kenji. I work part-time at the shop downstairs. With this entry card, I can get into the Mantum Aquarium at a discount. Is it a company employee discount? Something like that. I'm not exactly a company employee, but I get in at half off anyway, so I come here often. Really? That's quite unexpected for you, mister. When you become older, you'll crave these soothing experiences as well. I hear that so much. And I'm not old enough to be a mister! In Japanese, there are different honorifics, and I'm guessing here that Himeno used one that implied he was much older than he is. Now he says it. Compared to us, you're definitely old enough to be a mister. No argument there. Hiyoshi-san grimaces angrily, then sniffs in a self-deprecating manner. He appears to be a little older than a college student, so calling him old enough to be a mister is probably rude, but Himeno only said the impression he gave was pretty close. With the aquarium as a shared point of interest, Himeno's attitude towards Hiyoshi-san softens. As proof, Himeno talks with Hiyoshi-san about the shops in this building. I don't really know a lot about brands, so I sip my remaining cocoa and listen from the outside. My iced cocoa had become lukewarm cocoa. Well, mister, are you also well-versed in urban legends? Here we go. Am I going to get freaking scared again? On hearing Himeno's question, my head pops up in surprise. The corners of Hiyoshi-san's mouth lift into a grin. That's rather unexpected for you as well. So you're interested in such things. I like how, I know I'm breaking up the actual game's conversation with my analytics or whatever, but I like how Mayu is clearly the only one that's experienced anything like this. Himeno and Kenji are both very comfortable talking and joking and discussing these things, and Mayu is immediately unsettled, immediately wants out of it. Of course I am. You're only young once, so you have to satisfy your curiosity. We're looking into the closed-down deep-sea fish booth. There's a rumor that it's open on the day of the full moon. Do you know anything about it? Hiyoshi-san places his hand on his chin and looks down, grunting loudly. He glances at me, looks over at the entrance, then finally turns to Himeno and opens his mouth. I think you need to give up on that one thing. Naturally, since I'm a regular here, I often hear rumors like, there are spirits floating in the tanks, or every time a person dies, the jellyfish tank increases by 1, and so on. Himeno-chan, the story you mentioned shouldn't be anything more than one of those rumors, but stop dancing around it, just tell me. Previously, I knew someone who went looking into this just as you girls are doing now, Himeno-chan. He went missing soon after. Missing. Without thinking about it, I joined their conversation. If someone has gone missing here at Manton Aquarium, it holds significance for me as well. Is that for real? I glance back in surprise. Himeno is still looking at him with doubt in her eyes. Hiyoshi-san listens to what Himeno said with a playful smile and responds, Just kidding, it's a lie. I wonder if it is a lie. Because of the words he muttered, my curiosity has been piqued. I couldn't imagine the tense face he made as he told the story of an acquaintance who went missing being faked. That's right, but if that's the case, then this really might interest you, Maya. I've thought from the beginning that it would be better just to give up. No way, I already brought the tickets anyway. Himeno's face shows that she's enjoying herself to the end, and she takes my arm to gently pull me closer to her. This was the signal that she was ready to go, and in my mind, I prayed that nothing would happen. So now I changed what I said a little bit. Kenji there, definitely has some sort of hunch or maybe some kind of suspicion that he's playing off, even in his own head, as something that must have a reasonable explanation. The only one that's having a good time thinking this will really go nowhere is Himeno. Mayu is straight up freaked out. Well then, want to walk around with me? Hiyoshi-san calls out to Himeno, who has said later, but it's me rather than Himeno who tears him and spins around first. Hears him, not tears him, my gosh. So I make eye contact with Hiyoshi-san and say, I think we'll pass no way, that's fine. Okay. That's fine. Oh, surprising how quick you got into a good mood. Hiyoshi-san snaps his fingers and rushes to our side. Out, out! As she says this, Himeno steps in front of me and makes a big X mark with both hands. My thinking was, if this is a horror game, power in numbers, you know, I don't want my team to be a couple of girls going into nightmares, you know, have more people. Mayu, don't be tricked by an old guy like him. He uses kind words to get close to you, but he's thinking weird things inside his mind. She's got some kind of background with that, apparently. Himeno-chan, that's not it at all. What do you mean by weird things, Himeno? Oh well. You'll learn when you grow up. Hiyoshi-san narrows his eyes and grins widely. He glosses over my question and asks, what, Himeno-chan? For some reason, Himeno's face grows red, and she grabs me tightly by the wrist. Sexual harassment! Definitely sexual harassment, mister! Himeno, I appreciate your defensiveness for your friend, but you're getting a little too defensive. Without giving Hiyoshi-san a second look, Himeno drags me to the gate. Hiyoshi-san smiles and shrugs his shoulders. The aquarium entrance is so dark that we can't see in front of us until we are inside. I can feel the cold air on my skin. I get a sensation of something heavy, causing me to rub my arm. Naturally, there is no mark indicating something has touched me, and called back by Himeno's, "Hey, let's go." I pass my ticket through the machine. Can we finally get creepy? I'm ready. Scare me. Scare me. Do it. Meh, it figures that the whole if you come on the day of a full moon, all the water will change into blood thing is a lie. The water's normal. Of course it is, jeez. Right away, Himeno says so regretfully. Even so, she's still unable to hold back her excitement at having come to the aquarium, and her steps are fittingly light. As we come out of the gate, there are several small tanks nearby. Manton's aquarium's first and most celebrated exhibit is the one displaying fish native to Tokyo Bay. There are 4 tanks in the corner, from left to right, each one showing the environments of the river flowing into Tokyo Bay. Brackish waters, shoals, and open water come one right after the other. Okay, cool. Himeno giggles at rockfish, porgy, and other fish we recognize from the supermarket are also there. This booth also showcases environmental problems in order to prompt consciousness of the issue, causing a tightening in my chest. Water pollution is a serious problem. Tomorrow I think I'll try asking my mom to use a little less detergent. I wonder if that's the author or authors dropping in a little bit of political awareness or something. Suddenly it's gotten like this, think that's a typo. Himeno's reaction is the polar opposite of mine. Even as I'm reading the panel, she's uninterested in the display. Just like that, I read every last panel. Himeno has long since stopped watching me, crossing her arms and puffing out her cheeks. Thank you for waiting, Himeno. Geez, you're too serious, Maya. If you act like that the whole time, the day will be over, or they'll close. It'll be fine, this area isn't that big, and it's not like I'm going to read everything. As soon as she hears what I said, an expression of dissatisfaction appears on Himeno's face. Well, let's head on to the next area. Next is the tunnel tank? There might be ghosts. Oh, maybe that'll be with the human-like fish. Jeez, come on already. Even saying something like that upon entering the aquarium, I had begun to enjoy myself. Upon cheerfully calling out to Himeno, my previous unease had disappeared, leaving me ready to move forward with a light step. So it's not the aquarium itself, maybe? Amazing. Really amazing and pretty. If you haven't been in something like that, it is a lot of fun. The fish are so mesmerizing. With no door to partition this booth and the next, passing beside this tank took us to the next one, where larger breeds of fish swim about. This is no ordinary tank, but rather a giant tube-like tunnel, with the left and right sides connected above our heads in an arc. As we walk through the tunnel, we're able to watch the fish moving about in 3 dimensions. We bring our faces as close as we can to the glass, giving the illusion that we're in the ocean. Just watching the mantas, the rays, the various types of sharks, and the sea turtles can be intoxicating for us humans. I agree. When I was a child, I thought the ceiling might crack, but now I pass that feeling up, leaving only the throbbing of my heart. The water is a giant bundle of blue, various colors within it shooting every which way. Being able to see how big they are up close, separated by mere centimeters of glass, is so impressive it gives me the greatest realization of our shared existence. Here, Himeno's pace slows and she takes her steps one by one. Hey Mayu, look at those huge fangs. Himeno, that fish is cute too. Ah, the stingray's face is creepy. Really? I think it's cute. Ah, a manta, it's huge. That little one over there looks yummy. Talking as the words come to us, our conversation seems out of sync. Our feelings of being touched, however, are the same, and Himeno's enjoyment is obvious. Being surrounded by the water and the fish as we are, we feel as though we're freed from any sense of time. Maya, doesn't this ray's face look human? Maybe so. It does! The mystery of the human face fish is solved. Naturally. Well, if you're okay with it, then so am I. Thus, we learned the true nature of one of the urban legends, is what she would like to think. I was fine either way, but for Himeno, this was probably the best. Though from Himeno's enthusiastic stance, even as she watches the fish, she probably realizes just how implausible it all is. Rather than get tired of it, though, I'm having fun. We move leisurely through the tunnel, coming to a stop at the center. At this point, only the big things have caught our eyes, but on closer inspection of the tank, there's also sand piled up to our knees with shrimp, shellfish, small fish, and other such creatures dwelling there. Compared to the manta rays, the small shrimp, which can't even be considered child-sized, seem so cute and innocent as they swim about, breaking through the sand. Hey, look, Himeno. Ah, it's tiny. As I expected, Himeno has followed the human-faced ray, and on seeing my fingertips, speaks in a playful tone. Upon sensing the tremors from Himeno poking the glass, the ray kicks at the sand and flees deeper into the sand. Man, it's gone now. As I say this to Himeno, I smile at a small shrimp. Himeno does the same, smiling widely. Before long, the two of us are looking up at the ceiling, toying with the question of just how high it is. Even looking up, we can only see the fish swimming, never the ceiling itself. Looking up from the bottom of the sea, one would normally see the rays of the sun piercing the water, but looking up here was the opposite, with the bottom of the sea seeming to continue forever. It could have been the reflection of the light, or the ceiling really might have been too high. As I realize I can't be sure, my eyes settle on a small but characteristically long-nosed shark swimming past. Sharks. Sharks? That's a ray, isn't it? You just saw it from behind earlier. As soon as I mutter that, Himeno responds. It's true that although I'm interested in this type, Himeno has fixated on the human-faced ray. Oh, God. Huh? What's up? Himeno asks, but I falter. This conversation gives me a sense of what you might call deja vu. How strange. I felt as if I've had this conversation before. At that moment, my vision has died ultramarine. I'm really creeped out. I'm creeped out as hell. Oh God, who are you? Huh? This music is unnerving as hell. It was no longer Himeno in front of me, but someone else that had caught my attention. This can't be real? Hey Mayu! The ultramarine color unchanged. Within it, a face like mine passes before me. A face like mine from 5 years ago. Wearing an ultramarine overcoat that merges with the color of my vision. The girl turns to me and seems to be giving me a gentle smile. A creepy smile. Mayu, wait! Mari? Without hearing Himeno calling me back, I start running. We haven't finished looking at everything in the tube tunnel tank. But there's something more important right in front of me. Long hair that looks almost transparent. A thick blue coat. Cute boots with fur on them. There was no way I could forget that outfit. That's because it was the outfit my little sister Nakanobi Mari wore when she went missing here 5 years ago. Oh. The girl quickens her pace as if playing with me and disappears out the other side of the tunnel. There are hardly any people there, but I lose sight of her between the shadows of the tank in the corner. Mari? How? Why? Hey Mayu, wait! Breathing heavily. Himeno chases after me. I say sorry and break away from her, searching for the vision of Mari. As I come out of the tunnel, I survey the area, spotting a winter skirt nearby. I chase after that swaying form. Behind me, I can hear the intensity of Himeno's rushing steps and quicken my pace. Gah! Having fallen into a trance, I realize what's going on when I slam into someone and fall on my backside. Unfamiliar girl. The girl clicks her tongue as she picks up what she had dropped. As I start to say excuse me to her, she's already moving past me and running off somewhere. Because of that brief incident, I'm unable to find my way out of my confusion. Anyway, Mari. I feel bad about the person I'd run into, causing me to feel flustered. In that exchange, I lose sight of both that long hair and that long skirt. But you were going this way, right? I'm not sure myself where I'm running to, but I think you can say I'm definitely running with all my heart. I pass between more tanks than I can remember, but I don't pay them a bit of attention. I just continue following Mari's back, running. Mari is just as bashful as she was the day she disappeared. She is completely convinced her sister is here. Mayu, get a hold of yourself! Those few words end my chase. To be more accurate, it was ended by Himeno herself, who had grabbed my wrist. Probably for the better. Huh? You suddenly took off, and you wouldn't turn around no matter how many times I called you. Even when you dropped something, you had no idea. What happened all of a sudden? Wait, Himeno. If I can go after Mari, I'll explain everything. So, hold it! I look back at Himeno. Upon hearing her extremely hurt voice, I see tears forming in her eyes, and I turn my whole body to face her. I stand in silence like this for several seconds. If I tell her about Mari, I'm sure she'll regret bringing me to Manton Aquarium. When she followed me, she had to have seen Mari. It's natural that she would have had some misgivings about me chasing some total stranger, since she doesn't know Mari. Even so, I'm not sure what to say. If I apologize now and play dumb, we can probably go back to playfully searching the aquarium for information. But that is not something I can do. It isn't the similarities that are the problem. Mari is here, and just as she had been on that day, there is no way I can go home without taking her with me. Mayu, tell me what's going on. Who is Mari? Why do you keep running off without saying anything? Tears are pouring out of her eyes. I can't understand why she's sad, but still, my little sister, she was here. Little sister? See the girl I was chasing, she's my little sister. She disappeared 5 years ago at this aquarium. Looking at her tear-stained face, I no longer feel like hiding anything. Perhaps in the depths of my consciousness, I'm hoping Himeno will become satisfied and say she wants to look for Mari with me. I'll explain in more detail later. On top of that, when I look back once more, she squeezes my hand and holds me back. This is the gentlest but strongest that she's held my hand. She stares into my eyes, then tilts her head to the side. What do you mean you were chasing someone? I told you, the little girl that was in front of me, wearing the ultramarine coat and the boots, remember? That was Mari, exactly how she looked long ago. Mayu, snap out of it. She's probably scared. She's probably frightened that her friend probably had this completely psychotic look on her face and just started running at nothing. She shouts. It isn't simply a loud voice, but one weighed down with great sadness. It definitely gets through to me, but that doesn't mean it will stop me. Because without a doubt, I was right. She'd been here before, right before my eyes, so I had to chase. Let's just say that, even if this Mari girl was here, she would have grown in 5 years, and her clothes wouldn't be the same. It's summer, so she wouldn't be wearing a coat. Moreover, she was here, I saw her. No, Mayu, you weren't chasing anyone. You just took off running, leaving me behind, okay? Could you just calm down for a bit? This seems kind of against her character. It's showing a lot of three-dimensional development that I appreciate, that she would be so upset that her friend just ran off without saying anything. She seems like she'd be more confident and self-centered. Our tickets will get us back in, so how about some cocoa in the rest area? I think you're tired since you were a little shaky earlier. Jimeno seems pretty frantic, so I know she isn't just lying to persuade me. But there is no way that my seeing Mari there was a lie. That's why I start to speak without really knowing what I want to say. Jimeno. Mayu. Okay? Wiping away her tears, Jimeno smiles at me. Surely she has plenty of strong feelings about this whole thing. I'm sure she has loads to say about me keeping the Mari thing and my reason for resisting visiting Manten Aquarium so quiet. Even so, it seems as though Jimeno has accepted me. She just smiles and lets it go. That's probably right. Surely, if we're by the entrance, we'll know if Mari comes out. Mayu, that's good. That's right. That's more like you. Let's go have some cocoa, and you can tell me everything. If this weren't a horror video game, I would say Mayu is a girl that was traumatized by her sister going missing, and the realistic thing that would have happened is possibly a kidnapping, which is very dark in and of itself. As she smiles, Jimeno once again takes my hand into her soft palm. Oh, that's right, you dropped this. You gotta be more careful. With the hand that isn't holding my own, she hands me something small. A little charm of some sort. It's a keychain. The blue droplet shape is inlaid with stardust and also holds a starfish charm. It isn't exactly rare, being a giveaway item. Alright, for the sake of time, I'm going to end the video here. I hope you've enjoyed so far. We did get a couple of scares. I'm in the perfect mood, slightly creeped out to continue playing this. So even though I'm ending the video here, if you're interested in watching more, you can expect another video uploaded right after this one, because I'm going to continue recording. But thank you so much for watching and supporting me, and I hope that you'll be watching next time.